Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be featuring the Yamato, the legendary tier Japanese battleship. My first video of the Yamato that I posted, I messed up my audio settings and basically all you had to listen to was my commentary and some background music. But today I got some proper gameplay that has audio. Today we're playing on the map North with Zatu and Let 'em Peak. I still don't record party chat audio since I do not have a headset that can properly pick up my own voice chat. For whatever reason, the audio isn't picked up, so I literally have to scream. So if I can figure out a headset that can work with my capture card, then I'll start recording party chat, but for now, I will not. So the build I use for my Yamato is Arthas the Cold. I have covered him in my previous video and what as a commander he brings, especially with his unique skill that increases the amount of damage when your fighter is launched, as well as increasing your shell damage by 15% while receiving 25% more damage to your extremities and reducing the damage to your citadel by 25%. So, with this build, I tend to be fairly aggressive. The enemy team seems to be running away from their spawn. The Shimakaze is spotted, as well as the torpedoes. So I know that at this point he's launched all 15, and their team is running away, so I have no problem pushing in, and closing the distance, and getting shots on the ships as they run away. Usually in games like these, sometimes it takes your teammates, if the enemy is running away, a very long time to realize that they can push forward and actually, put themselves in a position to shoot at the enemy as well as take damage. Battleships aren't meant to just sit all the way in the back and snipe as much as people would like to think. They are meant to essentially be shot at and tank damage, which is why they have so much HP and armor. Now in real life, obviously there are different reasons for it, but in World of Warships Legends, that is the reason for it. You're not meant to sit in the back, not take damage, and just hope your team will do what they do. You need to be assertive and put yourself in the line of harm's way just so your teammates don't die. Usually, if you are in the back in a battleship and your teammates have moved forward, your teammates will be the ones to get shot while you're in the back with full health, and your friendly cruisers or destroyers don't exactly have the same amount of HP and armor that you do, so they will die a lot easier. Now, I'm not saying you just YOLO in and throw your ship away. You need to be intelligent with your positioning in a battleship, just like any other ship. Obviously here, I have moved forward and I'm getting shot at, and now I'm just slowing down. There's no reason to continuously push forward at full speed, because now I'm in a spot that they can shoot at me instead of my teammates. However, sometimes if you are angled, enemies will decide to shoot at other targets, especially if they know that they won't do a whole lot of damage. So sometimes you do need to turn a little more broadside to gain someone's attention and bait them into trying to hit your citadel, but you're already paying attention, so you know to turn in and angle. Just like I did for this Yamato, I was able to get his attention, and he gets one pen while he gets a couple ricochets. And now I can keep moving forward, and with Peak laying the smoke screen, Zatu is hidden behind and not detected through smoke firing penalty. There are Shimatorps coming from Bravo, so we have to be careful. And with Arthas, if you eat torps on the bow, it will deal extra damage. As you can see there, it did 26,000, and the second torpedo only did 7,600. That is Arthas's skill coming into play, where it does 25% more damage to your extremities while reducing the citadel damage by 25%. And torpedo damage, if taken on the torpedo belt, will count as citadel damage, so you can only heal 10% of it. Whereas if you eat it on the bow or stern where there is no torpedo protection, it will count as penetration damage, so you can heal 50% of that. Although if you eat a torpedo on the bow or stern where there is no torpedo protection, you will be almost flooded guaranteed. That Yamato shot at me, and unfortunately his dispersion was so bad that it hit Zatu, who was behind me and not spotted. Not something you see very often, but you do have to laugh when it does happen. I was laughing pretty hard when this happened, as well as Peak, simply because you don't see it very often, and it happened to Zatu. Poor guy. Looking at the map, we see that the Yamato is moving behind the island, their Alaska is running. They do have unspotted battleships at Alpha, and we know somewhere in Bravo from where those torpedoes came from is their Shimakaze. So we just start heading towards Bravo, hoping to get the cap. Their gearing gets spotted on the other side of the island in between Alpha and Bravo. So we know right now that we are undetected and a torpedo threat is still very much viable if that gearing had launched it before he got behind the island, since American torpedoes are slow. The Alaska does get spotted way out there in their spawn, but I need to stay angled to this Montana, so I just keep going forward towards this island. And at this point, I think the Alaska is going to be focused on Peak, since he did shoot at the Yamato and get spotted. So I start turning my guns. The Alaska did shoot at me instead of Peak, but he's sailing broadside and not paying as much attention. So I take a shot at him and I'm able to kill him off and get a high caliber. Their Montana is making a game return and turning broadside. It does look like Peak's torps might reach, but at this point I need to kill him as fast as I can so I can move into Bravo and support Peak, especially now that their gearing has been spotted moving in. I need to move forward and also turn right to not beach. Also, Peak is not exactly healthy and their gearing is at full health, so I need to move in as quickly as possible since the gearing has already launched all of his torpedoes. My fighter plane is still in the air, so that I will still have the additional damage from Arthur's base inspiration. Now I go to the front camera to know that my front guns cleared the island, and I take a full salvo at the destroyer, killing him off. Unfortunately, the unstoppable skill requires an enemy destroyer or enemy ship to be within range to reduce the damage con cooldown, and since that destroyer died, that skill was no longer activated, and Peak lost his damage con pretty much when he had maybe 1 or a half a second left, and it went to reset to whatever it did. So he lost out on actually damage conning because the enemy destroyer died. One of the more unfortunate things about that skill. I honestly think it should be if that destroyer is killed within range, that your damage con is automatically refreshed, reloaded, instead of if it dies, your cooldown just resets since there's no longer a ship in range. At this point, I've got 4 kills and I'm at 187,000 damage, and this Yamato is pretty much just broadside and not expecting me to run the corner. And I get a Citadel, and there is my Kraken as well as a Dreadnought. Definitely a very good game, especially playing this ship very, well, I'd say fairly aggressively. The end result is 196,000 damage and 3,200 base XP, our division topping the team, and making 190,000 credits in a legendary tier ship. Definitely need premium with these ships, otherwise you'll probably be losing credits. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Do leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Leave a comment down below for any other ships you want to see in the future. But until next time, aloha.